Today we are going to look at one of the primary features of the 1.1 update, the first update for MooMu Modular. This update is primarily about Midi. As you can see on the screen, these are all the Midi modules available. The Midi monitor was included in the original release, so was Midi to CV module, and has now been updated to include MPEE. The remaining 5 modules are new, and we will be covering these. In this video, we will cover the Midi input modules. These are the 4 Midi input modules. We shall take a look at these one by one. Now we shall take a look at the Midi monitor. New in the Setting tab on the right, we have the audio and Midi settings. Here we can choose our Midi source. Currently we have the key Step Pro selected. If I press some keys, we can see note on and off messages. And pitch bend. Mod wheel. And CC controls. To close the audio and Midi setting, we click on the X. Close the Setting tab, and away we go. The Midi to CV module was covered in the Using MooMu in a Host tutorial. It now has an added MPE switch. Here we have a very simple synth. This is running in AUM. Here we are using the Velocity Keyboard plugin as our MPE controller, routing the Midi output of the Velocity Keyboard into MooMu. We shall turn on the MPE switch. If we hold 2 notes simultaneously, we can hear they have individual pitch bend. Here we are going to be taking a look at the Midi to CV module. This is a module with a channel selector, 7 output stages with selectable controllers, and a switch to select uni or bipolar output. So what we shall do, we shall start by placing a scope to see what's happening. We will run a cable from the output of the first stage to the scope. On our Setting tab, we will check our audio Midi settings to confirm our Key Step Pro is selected. If we double tap on the channel selector, moving a physical controller will select the channel we are on, currently channel 1. Double-clicking on the first stage and moving a node will allow us to assign them, like so. As you can see, as we twist the knob, we can see the trace on the scope move up and down. We are currently in unipolar mode, so values between 0 and 10 volts. If we turn the bipolar on, we get values between -5 and 5 volts. So let's make some sound using this module. Here we have a typical arpeggiated synth sequence. So using the Key Step Pro, I double tap on the channel, and on the first stage, move the desired knob. They become assigned. We will drag a cable from the output stage we have just assigned to the CV input for the feedback on the VCR. Turn the attenuator to full clockwise. When we turn the knob, do is also assign the attack and decay. So double tap on the second stage. We will move the next knob to assign it to the stage. And repeat for the third stage. Drag a cable from the second stage to the attack input. And the attenuverter clockwise. Repeat for the decay. Now we shall take a look at the Midi note to gate module. You may notice some similarities to the last module. We have the channel select at the top and 6 stages where the notes can be selected. We also have some mute groups. These are commonly used for hi-hats. And we have both a level and a gate output. Okay, let's make something very simple. To start off, we shall open our settings, audio and MIDI setting. We shall use the MIDI from the APM Mini you can see in the insert. Just to confirm, we shall add a MIDI monitor module. Now I shall press some of the pads on the APC. As we can see in the MIDI monitor, the notes are displayed. The faders. Right then, we don't need the MIDI monitor anymore. For this we shall make a very simplistic drum machine, with just 2 drum sampler modules. We shall drag them both in. We shall use a mixer. Close our module browser and move our mixer to the top row. Okay, let's patch the cables for this. Using red cables for audio, connect the 2 drum samplers to the first 2 channels of the mixer. Take the output of the mixer to the audio and out module. Using blue cable from the MIDI note to gate module, we shall connect the gate output from the first stage to the trigger input of the first drum sampler, and from the second stage to the second module. Now we need to assign our notes in our MIDI track, so we will double-click to select our channel, and press one of the pads on our APC. Here you will see it is set to channel 1. Next we will double-click our first stage and press one of the pads. We will double-click the second stage and press the next pad. And we should be able to play our patch. Both drum modules are currently using the same sound. So here we will change the second sample to be a snare. If you enjoyed this content, please hit like and subscribe.